Yo, yo, RX back with another breakdown. This time it is the first one of 2026. New year, new fights, which can only mean one thing. We're back. New season of fights, the 2026 season. It's so fucking good to be back as we come back to UFC 324. Gaethje versus Pimplet. A return card that is a cool fight night, if that's what it was. As a pay-per-view, it's a little underwhelming. It's a fine card. Either way, it has that bonus of being the first fights in a month. So, that helps. But, yeah, we are finally fucking back. Long overdue. Been long awaited. We've waited this long. We're finally back. Fights are back. Hallelujah. 2026 has finally started, and we begin with some fights in Vegas, a pay-per-view, quote, in many ways. First quote, because this the start of the Paramount deal, which gets rid of pay-per-view, so we can just straight up watch this one long fucking watch without having to do what we usually did. So that's sweet. And then on the other hand, quote pay-per-view, because this card is not a pay-per-view level card. Again, it's fine, but we just call a spade a spade. This is a fucking fight night. There's no title on the line, and not a real one, at least. Number one contenders fight in the main event. That's a shit fight anyway. But that's not a real title. Kayla Nunez falling off the card sucks, but whatever. It really hurt the card, but we'll make do. And we still got 13 mostly good fights from Vegas to bring in new year, new season, new everything. I can't wait. I am so fucking excited, and can't wait to finally, for the first time in over a month, we are talking about fights. We're breaking down fights, and I cannot wait. I was thinking about, before I started this recording, that I started all with UFC 265, the Lewis Gone recap. And now we are here, beginning of 2026, many late years later, and we are now at 324. Again, we haven't been doing this shit for so long. The quality of the videos are still ass, and no one watches them still, so I don't know. It is what it is. I'm hyped that fights are back. I'm excited to talk about some fights. I hope you are as well. I know you are. Everyone is. We're all craving some violence, and it's almost here. I guess I gotta make it to 5 o'clock on a Saturday afternoon, and then we have fights. So I can't wait. I'm more than stoked, and see what happens, man. Fights are back. We'll see how long it becomes better or worse. We'll see how long the high of fights being back lasts. Because I can do by March, April, when we start getting to meh fight nights. It's gonna be like, oh god. So we'll see how long the hype and allure lasts, and the high, I guess, would be the right term. And yeah, I'm hyped. Fights are back. Excited to break them down. First breakdown in too long. First video talking about fights and not fighters in too long. I can't wait. So let's fucking not wait any longer. Do it. Before we do, the last thing I gotta say, as always, is, of course, the normal YouTube bullshit of please like, comment, and subscribe. 200 subs goal again by the end of the year. This time it's 2026. We failed in 2025. Hopefully we get in 2026. I doubt it, but we'll see. And as always, I don't think I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am. I think the only thing left to say now is, you ready for the return of fights. You ready to break down our first fights of the year? 13 fights, UFC 324, fights are back, it's a new year. We're so back. You ready? I know I am. 324 breakdown, the return of fights, begin. Beginning with our first fight of 2026. Not the strongest fight in the world, but you need prelims, you need the lower level fights on the card, and we begin with one of the, not the worst fight on the card. I think this should be the second fight on the card. I think the fight above it's worse, but either way, we begin with one of the weaker side of the card, but you gotta start somewhere. As we begin the year at welterweight, we ended the year last year at flyweight, and we begin this year at welterweight. I believe the first fight in 2025 was lightweight, and then we ended at flyweight. Now we begin with welterweight. We'll see what we end with. But to begin the year, we begin with Ty Thriller Miller versus Adam Fugit. Yeah, not the strongest fight to be in the year, obviously. This is definitely more Apex-y, more than anything, but like I said, you gotta start somewhere, and why not a fine prospect build-up fight? Makes sense. Not the worst fight on the card, a perfectly fine fight, and yeah, we know what this fight is. Let's do our first breakdown of the year, beginning with the first undefeated fighter and first debutant of the year, coming out of Contender Series, the Gigantic for welterweight, Ty Miller, 6-0, 25 years old, making his debut off the Contender Series, where he looked good. He's definitely a dude who I thought was very green, and I still think that, so I really do understand this matchmaking with him. He's a dude who clearly shows talent, but he is a very green fighter. He's not bad, obviously he's not a bad fighter, but he had a lot of improving to do. If you were to throw him in there with even like a decent level guy, he might lose because he is just that green right now. But getting him in there with a guy like Fugit, who is perfect cannon fodder for young guys usually, is smart and build Miller up. Good striker, lengthy as fuck, 6'2", dude is gigantic. Good on the feet. I don't think we saw the grappling on Contender Series, so we'll see if we have to see that here. And, yeah, in first debut of the year from Contender Series last year, he looked fine. Gonna definitely need some seasoning before we can really throw him in there with the higher name guys. But this is a good first fight, and it'll probably be his first 2 or 3 fights in the UFC. You guys gotta build him up. He's very green. He has a lot of potential, but he's green, and you gotta build him up. So give him a leg up in the debut. Smart. He's a perfectly fine fighter from what I saw in the Contender Series. See if he can get better and get rid of some of those green quirks that he has in his game, and really become a prospect in this division. Clearly UFC thinks something of him, having him start off the first card of the year, be the first fight. And yeah, we'll see if the undefeated curse hangs true again this year like it did last year. So yeah, first undefeated and first debutant of the year. A lot of first fight of the year. So see how Ty looks and all that. Fine prospect, and needs a lot of work, but he could be something. He really could be. And the man to test how or what Miller could be is everyone's favorite cannon fodder at welterweight, prospect tester, whatever you want to call him. The opponent, Adam Fugit. Fugit, 10-5, 37 years old, 2-3 in the UFC. He's fine. Like, his whole UFC career has been him literally just being used to fight prospects. Debuted against Michael Morales, fought Kinoshita and beat him, shown that Kinoshita was shit. Lost to Mike Malott, beat Josh Quinlan, lost to Abdulatov. So he's just been fighting the prospects non-stop. Literally, he's not fought a prospect in his UFC run so far. and they know what they're doing with him. If the prospect he's fighting sucks, he's going to beat him. But if he's fighting one that's halfway competent, or just a lucky bitch like Malott, then he is going to lose. He's a really good prospect tester. They're not good enough. They're not going to get fucking beat Fugit, but if they're decent enough, they can beat him pretty soundly. He's not the greatest. He's not the worst at welterweight. Obviously, there's much worse. But, yeah, he's fine. He's a perfectly whatever below average fighter. Again, he's a good prospect tester. If you're good enough, you'll beat him. If you're not, you'll probably lose. And that's what he's doing again here. He's testing a prospect and being a much older guy, more experienced. Let's see what Ty Miller is made of. I give him Fugit. Makes a lot of sense. Perfectly logical fight. We know what Fugit is. Not the greatest again. He's not awful anywhere, but he's not really. He really doesn't have the skill where it's like, oh wow, you really don't want to be here with Fugit. He's fine, and yeah, he's going to test if you're a legit prospect or not. What he's good at. Not really much else to say there. Pretty simple. The betting odds for this fight have Ty Miller minus 420, nice, to plus 310, our first betting odds of the year. And I think I agree with them mainly. Could be a little smaller. I might have Miller like minus 350. Like, he should win, logically. He is an inch taller and this pretty much the same reach, 90% picked on Tapology. He should win, logically. But again, if he's too green or if you can find some chinks in his armor and beat him, I wouldn't be too shocked. Miller's not there's obviously guys who come off Contender Series and are surefire. Like, oh, these guys are already ready. Miller's a guy who's good, but he needs a little more time in the oven, and a fight like this, on paper, should be that. But if you get to not a complete pushover, and he has 2 wins in UFC, so could Miller choke this? Yeah. Do I think he will? Probably not. But I don't think he should be over minus 400. I think minus 350 would be fair. And obviously I am picking Ty Miller here. I'm not an idiot. But I don't really think a point. I'm not going to make fun of them 10% picking Fugit because maybe he can just be the crafty veteran and beat Miller here. I don't think it's going to happen, but maybe. So Miller's green, so he's just not ready for the spotlight. He might fucking crumble. We'll see if he does. But I'm gonna go Ty Miller by decision for my first pick of the year. Oh boy, beginning of a decision pick, how fucking exciting. But yeah, I'm going Miller by decision. I don't see him finishing Fugit. He could, obviously. But I think it's more likely that he beats him over 15 minutes. I've really struggled to see a finish in this fight, especially by Fugit. Obviously, he ain't finishing fucking anybody. So, yeah, give me Ty Miller by decision here to my first pick of the year. Can we start off on a win? I know I got last year's first fight right. It was Ali Evans Selecki, so I got them for once. I was on a streak of getting the first fight of the year wrong, but I should get this one right, and most people should. Give me Ty Miller by decision. Not the most confident. I definitely think there's more confident spots on the card, but you know, he should win. I would think 9 out of 10 times he probably wins this fight. Give me Ty Miller by decision. It's not a complete pushover, but if you're good enough to beat him, you should. I think Miller is good enough, even if he is green. Give me Ty Miller by decision to begin 2026. After that, we get to our second fight of the night, the worst fight on the card. That should be opening the card, or not even be on the card, because I think this fight is not really deserving of being here, but whatever. Definitely more Apex levels than here, but whatever. Worst fight on the card. Yeah, I have one. We needed a loser gets cut fight right off the bat, so we can really do after having our second fight of the night, our second fight of the year, our first fight at bantamweight in this year, not the only one on this card. We have in the worst fight on the card, the first loser gets cut fight of the year, the first bad fight on paper to begin the year. We have Ricky Torcios versus Cameron, the baby-faced killer Smotherman. Yeah, this should more than likely be an Apex prelim, but instead it is here for whatever reason. Not great. Not a great fight at all. Again, a loser gets cut fight, both coming in on 2-fight losing streaks. Could go if I was this fighter. You could have swapped this with a better fight that you booked for the Batista or even Volkanovski card next week, but whatever, fine, whatever. It's a quick, easy pick, not a great fight. Piss break before we get into the real shit. Cool. Let's begin it talking about the more veteran of the two, the former tough winner, Ricky Torcios. 12-5, 32 years old, 2-3 in the UFC. Since winning the Ultimate Fighter. If you don't count the Ultimate Fighter, he is 1-3 in the UFC. Lost to Eamon Zahabi, beat Kevin Natividad in a fight no one fucking remembers. I barely do. And a lot of people, I feel like a lot of people said that was a robbery. Lost to Raul Rosas, lost to Bernardo Sopai a year ago exactly on the first pay-per-view of 2025. And now he's here with his job on the line against some other man. I say it every time with Torcios, and it's always true. What the fuck happened to this dude? He came in on tough, looked phenomenal, looked great in the finale against Houston, which that's your great fucking win in hindsight. But ever since he won tough, he turned into a fucking can. The hobby, fine. That was a terrible performance by Torcios, but okay, whatever. Then that very shitty one against Kevin Natividad where he didn't even look that good. Then the Raul Rosas loss, which we know how awful Raul Rosas is, and Bernardo Sopai beat him easily, which is understandable. Sopai is very good, but again, another loss. And now he's coming into this fight, 2 in a row, on the chopping block with a loss. What the fuck happened? Did he put all his fucking energy into tough? Like, I don't get it. Like, 2 of his losses are understandable. His 1 win, he didn't even look good, and Raul Rosas is just fucking garbage. But it's like, what happened? Even if he was losing, if he was still looking like that guy on tough who was entertaining and good, then cool. But for some reason, he's just not. He hadn't been that guy, and now he's probably about to get cut. So, one of the most, I can't call him one of the worst tough winners of all time, just one of the most head-scratching tough winners of all time. I don't know what the fuck happened to this dude, why he is like fucking a can since winning tough, but he is, and we'll see if this is the last time we see him. So, what a weird fucking career he's had. A tale of 2 fighters. The guy who looked great on tough and the guy who's now about to get cut after losing 3 straight. I don't really know what else to say about Quickie Ricky. It's just been a very disappointing fighter since tough. And then for his opponent, Cameron Smotherman, the opponent, 12-6, 28 years old, 1-2 in the UFC, another guy who's kind of been a bit of a dud, even if you go back a few years ago on Contender Series when he lost to Charlie Olympus, which has aged beyond awful. 1 3-fight streak, got called in this fight on short notice against Jake Hadley 2 years ago, looked good and won. But ever since that fight, he's looked fucking terrible. Against one better fighter, one worse fighter. Against Harry City, who is fucking terrible. Smotherman completely shit to bed and looked awful. And against Ricky Simone, a fight that was never going to be competitive. Wasn't competitive, and he lost easily. That one more understandable. And now he's going up against Ricky. How bad is Jake Hadley? I guess that's the moral of the story with Smotherman. that Siri fucking City can beat him pretty easily. And obviously Ricky Simone is just really goddamn good, so no shame in that. Yeah, this guy's just not that good, truly. He is, I believe, teammates of Adrian Yanez, I believe. So, or a few other fighters. But yeah, he's just not that good. Like, again, the Jake Hadley win, good. Jake Hadley sucks. Ever since then, again, the Siri City loss is just the one that's like, really? If he would have just lost to Simon, it'd be like, okay, fine, Simon, Ricky Simone is really good. No shame in that. But that fucking City loss, and that Charlantis loss on a Contender Series where it's like, you lost to those fucking guys? Huh. So, I don't think he's that good, and I don't think he's long for the UFC, because eventually he'll not be getting layups like Ricky Torcios. But, yeah, he's just not that fucking good. He's young, but not a UFC level guy in my opinion, especially in bantamweight, which is as fucking, the talent level is as high as you can goddamn get. I just don't think some other men got it, and yeah, it's just not that debut. Has one a legendary case of the short-nosed debut guy looks great, and then you actually see him fight more, and it's like, oh yeah, this guy actually sucks. So weird how his career has turned out too since his debut, but I guess that's the theme of this fight. The betting odds for this fight have Smotherman minus 205 to plus 165. I actually think Smotherman has dropped a bit to like minus 180, 170. I would have Smotherman 200, 210. He should win this fight. He's the better fighter. Same height. Torcios has 2 inches in reach, and Smotherman is 20% picked. So you're telling people are picking Torcios more than Fugit? I don't know about that one. I wouldn't pick either, but I might lean Fugit more. Yeah, Smotherman should win this fight. He's better, and that's a lot. I think Torcios is just, I don't know, mentally broken or what, but he's just not the same guy we saw in Tough, and if he shows up like how he has ever since Tough, Smotherman should beat him pretty easily. Not because Smotherman's very good, just because I think Torcios is that terrible at this point. I just cannot really make a case for him anymore. So, this is easily the worst guy Torcios has fought since Natividad, and then he was no longer before Rosas, who's awful. But it's just like, I can't pick him. Give me Cameron Smotherman by decision. It's a low-level fight. Again, it should probably be an Apex fight, but since it's here, I would have the same pick either way. Give me Smotherman. I just think he's better. I can't pick Torcios at this point. Loser gets cut, and I just don't think it's going to be Smotherman at this moment in time. I think it's Torcios' time to go. I think he'll be the first cut fighter after a loss this year. So give me Cameron Smotherman by decision. Not a great fight. Very low-level fight. But it's still pretty simple to predict. Could I see the case for Torcios? I guess, but I'm not gonna be the one making it. Give me Smotherman by decision, and the worst fight on the card. The first loser gets cut fight of the year. See who goes, see who stays. Very bad fight. Not much else to say. From a very bad fight to when I think the card really begins, from this point to the co-main, I think this is the peak of the card, as we have next in our co-main event of the early prelims, going to heavyweight for not the only time on this card, and both fights are actually not terrible. That's the biggest shock of all. As we have our third fight of the night, our co-main of the early prelims at heavyweight, the real start of the card in my opinion. From this until the co-main, this card is actually good. We have in our third fight of the night, Josh, the Incredible Hokit versus Denzel Luke Fox Freeman. Yeah, this is a very simple fight to predict. I don't think I'm going to shock anyone with the prediction or saying that here. This is super simple fight to predict. Don't really need to waste a lot of time breaking it down. And that's one thing on this card. But a lot of these fights are easy to predict. I think this and the whole prelims are all very easy fights to predict. But we'll still talk about it a little bit. We'll begin with the other undefeated fighter on the night, the Colby Covington of heavyweights, just not as good as Colby in talking or fighting, but still decent. We have the undefeated Josh Hokett, 7-0, 28 years old, coming out of Contender Series last year. Already had his debut back in November. We got a quick knockout, looked fine. Now he's back here against Freeman. Hokett's fine. If he wasn't a big mouth talker, then no one would really care about him. But, you know, he knows how to talk a bit. Corny, yes, but, you know, it helps. I think this is just a quick build-up fight for him to get a spot on the White House card. I think if he wins this, it's almost a surefire thing he's going to get a fight on the White House card, and probably a decent fight at that. So, yeah, this dude's fine. Do I look at him as some, like, top-tier prospect in the division? No, I think Steven Asplund's way better. Mario Pinto's way better, but Hokett's fine. Hokett, with how bad the top 15 is, he could easily be a top 15 guy. He's better than fucking Talashin Teixeira, and, I think he's as good as Sergey fucking Spivak, if not better. So, his striking is getting better. We saw in Contender Series he was kind of just a wrestler, but in his debut against Jimenez, he really showed some striking. He's getting better. Young. Again, he's not a complete blob. He's actually not that fat at all, really. What does he weigh? 236, so he's a very light heavyweight. Good wrestling, striking getting better, decent fighter, decent prospect, knows how to talk. Probably gonna be on the White House card. They're just giving him a build-up fight. Until then, not really much else to say. Pretty simple. And then for the opponent, the note 7-1, not as undefeated, and not a good prospect or fighter, even though he is coming off a debut win. This guy is fucking terrible. We have the opponent, the cannon fodder, for being honest, Denzel Freeman, 7-1, 34 years old, 1-0 in UFC, after having one of the worst fights I've ever seen against Marek Bujlo last year. It was a win, but it was what fucking cost. And now he goes into this fight 1-0, and we know what he's here to do. Yeah, he's complete cannon fodder. I don't know what else you really want me to say. This dude's garbage. Like, out of those, 6 heavyweights they've signed for those double debut fights, Freeman is one of them. I think that Germele Patu or whatever was better, and obviously that fucking Bernardo Persisic guy is way better, so Freeman was the worst winner of those fights. And, yeah, he's just a shitty fighter. I don't know what else to really say there. Like, yeah, again, he won that fight against Bujalo, but it was fucking terrible on both sides. So bad Bujalo got cut, and Freeman probably should have as well after a performance that terrible, but they're giving him another shot, aka just feeding him to a much better fighter, which he deserves after a performance that terrible. And, yeah. Pretty simple. This guy is just cannon fodder to the decent prospect. Shocker. Not really much else to say there. The first complete... I think this is more of a goddamn can crushing than Miller Fukett. That should say a lot. Yeah, not much to say. He's just here to lose. Do your job, and that's it. The big odds first fight have Josh Hokett only minus 250 to plus 200. I think Hokett could easily be minus 4 to 500. He should win this fight easily. Freeman's garbage. Like Hokett or not, the person, the fighter, he's so much better than Freeman. Freeman showed nothing in that debut worth a damn, and he should get beat here pretty easily. Hokett 87% picked, very good. Topology there, both are 6 feet. Hoki does have a really big reach disadvantage, 73.5 to 77. But even with that, he should win this fight easily, just being the better fighter. So, and Freeman is terrible, and yeah, Hogan should win this pretty fucking easily. So, give me Josh Hogan, and I'm gonna take my first finish of the year prediction. Give me Hogan by knockout in the first. He should finish Freeman pretty easily. Not as easily as he finished that Jimenez dude. I don't think Freeman's just gonna swing with him with his chin out. But I think Hogan will easily be able to get him down, and either get him down and finish him, or finish him on the feet, one or the other. Because again, he's just a much better fighter. So Freeman sucks, but it's complete cannon fodder for Hogan, and it's just a showcase for Hogan. Show up, show out. My first knockout, my first finish prediction of the year. Me, Josh Hogan by knockout in the first. Not really too much else to say there. Pretty easy pick. Could have easily, if this card was weaker, this easily could be the lock of the night. It ain't, but could be. And yeah, first finish prediction, first super easy prediction. Give me Josh Hogan by knockout in the first. Easy pick. Not much else to say. Next. After that, we end the early prelims with where I guess a lot of people would say the card actually begins. But I think the Hogan fight's good, but this is another very solid fight, and these two are very well-known names, as we have to end off the early prelims at lightweight with a very good fight, and maybe my first interesting pick of the year. We have our featured early prelim at lightweight, a fight that I think either I'm gonna look really smart or really dumb after. We have the featured early the first featured early prelim of the year, Michael the Menace Johnson versus Alexander the Great Ape Hernandez. Ooh, this is gonna be my first interesting pick of the year. I shouldn't be. I think the odds should be completely the other way around, but whatever. That's whatever. Yeah, fight that MJ's back. Who doesn't love the Michael Johnson fight? A Michael Johnson fight. Hernandez is sadly still here for whatever fucking reason. Good, really solid way on the early prelims. A very strong featured early prelim. Let's talk about it. Begin with the veteran of the two. No, we're not gonna go down his whole UFC career because we'd be here forever. The most generic name ever, but he built himself a really good legacy. Michael Johnson, 24-19, 39 years old, gonna be 40 June. Somehow still one of the best unranked lightweights, 16-15 in the UFC. Has won 3 in a row. And if you go even deeper than that, he's won, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, he's won 5, he's 5-2 in his last 7, and most people think he won that malarkey fight, so he's really fucking 6-1. It's crazy how this man has rebuilt his career out of fucking nowhere. Like, he, at one point, it was like, he looked like his career was completely fucking over. And then he gets that Alan Patrick win. Like, it's not a good win, but it was needed. Malarkey, he lost in a banger, but most people think he won that fight. Beat Diakese, lost Diego Fieta, but ever since then he just came back with vengeance. Beat Darius Flowers easily, knocked out Minazaitar, and then last year, maybe the most impressive win in years, completely schooled Daniel Zellhuber as a gigantic underdog to show that he's still here, man. He's still got it, he's still good, he's not aging, man, not MJ. The best, worst fighter ever. I still think that's maybe the funniest thing Marshall Mine has ever fucking said. But it's true, that is Michael Johnson. We all know the memes. He'll fucking beat goddamn. He has wins over Tony and Dustin Poirier, but then he has losses to goddamn Thiago Moises and Darren Elkins. It's like, I don't get it. But as MJ, riding a 3-fight winning streak, his first winning streak in years since 2018. We're trying to get to 4 in a row, which has he ever done in the UFC? Not in a long, since 2015, so he still got him. He's one of the best unranked lightweights at the moment, which is insane to say. He's still got power. He's a good striker. Still think that chin is a complete worry because he has been chin checked many times in his career. But the cardio is good, grappling, the wrestling's okay, striking and power are good. He's still got it. He's still fucking got it. Been fighting forever. Been in UFC since 2010. 16 years on the roster. Still going strong, still winning fights. Well, how fucking crazy is MJ? And, yeah, what to really say? He still got it. Can he make it 4 in a row for the first time in 10 years? Let's find out. Crazy that Unk still got it. And then for his opponent, someone who never had it and will never get it. The opponent, the guy who is still a complete can. I don't care that he's won a few fights in a row. The opponent, the still can known as Alexander Hernandez. 18-8, 33 years old, 10-7 in UFC. Not gonna go down his whole UFC career or waste much time on him. This dude still fucking sucks. He's on this fucking lame 4-fight winning streak. Beat Austin Hubbard in a whatever fight. Lost to Kurt Holloway. That was a robbery. Beat Chase Hooper. Beat Diego Fieta. Not impressive. And now he's fighting MJ. I'm not impressed with any of his fucking wins on that streak. And again, he lost to Holloway. He lost his Jim Miller fight was very debatable. So, if you take away the Holloway win, which was a robbery, you got Austin Hubbard, who's fucking awful. Chase Hooper, who we already know is never gonna surpass being what he is now, and that's just a very cool fighter. A what if he ever got better. And a 90-year-old Diego Fieta. Ooh. Yeah, Hernandez is still garbage, and I'm not gonna, until proven otherwise, he's still a complete fucking can, and that's just how it is. He's not back, he's not a prospect in the division again, he's still a can, he's never been good, he'll never be good. This dude's career highlight will always be Cowboy making him his little bitch, and that's about all he's not gonna be known for, and all he is known for. The dude that can, still is and always will be. And a few shitty wins ain't gonna change that. But the betting odds are drinking the Kool-Aid, having Alexander Hernandez minus 210 to plus 170. That's so fucking dumb. If you want to have it a pick 'em, fine. Hernandez should not be a favorite. He's not winning this fight. He's so shitty. MJ is taller, with an inch and a half in reach. Hernandez 73% picked. I think people are stupid, man. I don't get why people are drinking the Kool-Aid. Just go off their winning streaks. The Daniel Huber win is levels above anything Hernandez has done in his winning streak. So Huber would wipe the floor of Hernandez. And MJ would have the exact same wins. If he fought these 4 guys, he would have looked better here and he would have beat the other 3. The MJ's better. He was better 10 years ago, and he's better in 2026. Give me MJ by decision, my first underdog pick of the year. He's better. Hernandez is garbage. He's not some prospector. He's not back, because he's never here. MJ's better. Hernandez is garbage. I'm not letting a few shitty wins change that, or let y'all fucking try and convince me otherwise. Y'all can drink the Kool-Aid and be wrong. I'll be right. Give me Michael Johnson by decision. He's just better. And he might actually knock him out, to be honest. So, I'm gonna go decision. It feels safer. He's just better. What else can I say? Hernandez is still a can until proven otherwise. And give me the OG. Give me the vet. Give me the lightweight legend. Give me MJ by decision. First underdog pick of the year. Because I will not pick a can who is still a can. I will not drink the Kool-Aid. Give me MJ. There you go. Those are the early prelims. Did not think I'd talk about them for 40 minutes, but here we are. Kind of tale of 2 prelims. First 2 fights are kind of, this fight's alright. This fight kind of garbage, and then this is good and this is really dang good. Two good ones, two, they could not be on the card and we wouldn't be upset ones. But, perfectly fine early prelims. Should start off the card right, and I'm excited. And they should be a perfect lead into our pretty stacked prelims. So let's not waste any more time. We're already 40 minutes in. We got 4 prelims to talk about, even if they're all pretty easy predictions. Let's still not waste any more time. Let's get into them. Beginning with the opening prelim, the first prelim, that's not an early prelim, I don't get how that works. The first prelim of the year, the first top 15 fight of the year. We have that flyweight, a long overdue top 15 fight for the newest man to finally fight up the rankings and get an easy win. To begin the prelims with a very well-deserved fight, and what's a really good fight at flyweight. As we have, to begin the prelims, Alex the Decision, that's his fucking nickname, he's so shitty, Perez versus Charles Energy Johnson. The Decision. Who the fuck gave him that nickname? Outside of himself, probably. Very good prelim to begin the prelims. Very easy fight to predict, obviously. We already know who's winning this fight, but we'll still talk about it a little bit. Let's do it. Now we begin with the higher ranked of the two, even though he probably shouldn't be ranked at all because he's not good. We have the Decision, Alex Perez, 25-10, 33 years old, 7-6 in the UFC. The guy who rarely ever makes it to a goddamn fight. Well, no, we need to talk about his early UFC career. We'll talk about since the Figueiredo fight, when he somehow got a title shot. Yeah, it sparked in 2 minutes, and then had like 100 fights cancelled. Fought Pantoja, got smoked. Had another 100 fights cancelled. Fought Mukayev, remember that loser? Got beat easily. Knocked out Nicolau in a random main event no one wanted. And then, again, pulled out of more fights. Lost to Tatsuro Taira. Pulled out of more fights. Lost to Tatsuro Mabayev. And now he's here jobbing out to Energy. Yeah, Alex Perez is a fucking joke. What's there to say? If he ever actually makes it to a fight, which is rare as it is, he's usually losing it. In his last, 6 fights, he's 1-5. And again, that one was against Nicolau, who's garbage. Not even on the roster anymore. Again, Taira, Figueiredo, cool. You lost to Almabayev and Mukayev. Ew. And Pantoja. Ew. So, even before that, you beat no one fucking good. Your best win was Jussier Formiga. Ew. So, great stuff there. Dude's just not good. I don't think dude's good at all. And he's just gonna be perfect cannon fodder for Energy here. I won't be shocked if they get rid of him at this point, because he's just been a complete headache his whole UFC career, pulling out of every fight possible. And again, he's just not that entertaining or good. So, I think he's one of the weaker ranked flyweights, because he's just not good. And, I'm happy they're finally using, well, not finally, they've been using him like this, but I'm happy they're still using him to just build up better fighters. So, that's all he's good for. I don't know what else to say, though. Dude, if he actually makes it to a fight, he fucking sucks. But someone who does not suck, even though for some reason a lot of people don't like him, even though he's just a really good guy. We have one of the best flyweights in the division, is the opponent who's gonna easily beat Perez, getting a long overdue fight up the top 15 and not fight down. They have the Energy, Charles Johnson. 18-7, 35 years old, 7-5 in UFC, even though that record should look a lot different if this was a fucking overturn due to steroids. This was debatable. This was debatable. Not much to say about we'll talk about since he became, the one of the best flyweights in the UFC. Because he's a tale of a guy who was pretty shitty at first, and then out of nowhere became one of the best in the division. beating at Maxim, Jake Hadley, Joshua Van, the only man to do so far in the UFC, Sumadarji, and somehow beating Lonnie Kavanaugh in his last fight. But he does get their loss to Ramzan Tamirov, again, that probably should be overturned, cause dude was on steroids or some shit, but whatever. Energy, winning more than losing. So wins over fucking Van and Lonnie are insane. And the dude's just really fucking good. What can you really say about Energy? He's one of the best in the division. I think he's way better than fucking Aslambayev, Steve Ursig. Like, he's better. Kai Asakura, Jesus Christ, he's way better than these guys. And I'm happy he's finally getting the fights he deserves, like a fight up the top 15, after having wins over Joshua Van and Lonnie Kavanaugh. So, the dude's really good. He's well-rounded. His grappling's good. His cardio's gotten better. His striking's getting much better. Got power now. Or has had power now for a minute. The dude's really good. One of the best in the division. Do I think he, like, being honest, do I think he beats Royval, Moreno, Taira? No. Of course. Do I think he could be right up there with him, though? Yeah. I think he's fucking... Even guys like Kai Car-France, he's way better than. So... He's good. He's really fucking good. Happy he's finally gonna fight up to top 15. I believe is Perez ranked like top 10 or something. No, Energy should be in the top 10. And yeah, long overdue, well deserved. One of the best in the division, finally getting his flowers by the UFC. Cause anyone smart has been giving him flowers for fucking 2 years now. And yeah, he's really fucking good. Pretty simple. What else is there to really say? Getting an easy win here. Even fucking going from Lonnie Kavanaugh to this loser. Hell of a step down. And love to see it. The bang odds for this fight have Energy minus 210 plus 170. I think he'd be a bigger favorite. He could easily be minus 300. He's gonna win this fight easily. He's just better. He's 3 inches taller, fucking 4.5 inches in height, 85% picked. Yeah, he's gonna win this fight easily. He beat Lonnie Kavanaugh, who was way better than fucking Perez. He's gonna win this fight easily. Give me Energy by decision. Should just school him pretty easily. Yeah, he's one of the best in the division. Perez is not. And give me Charles Johnson by decision. Not really much else to say there. Dude's really fucking good. Long overdue fight like this. Energy gonna climb top 15. Can't wait. Give me Energy by decision. Pretty simple. Next. Not really much else to say there. That's kind of running theme with these prelims, that they are all pretty easy to predict. After that, we go from one easy, deserved fight up the rankings to another. And this guy's not even ranked, but he's about to be after an easy win here, as we go from one easy fight to another. This one at light heavyweight, someone defending their ranking, as we have in our second fight of the prelims, another pretty simple one to predict. We have the first fight booked for this card, I believe, which is kind of funny. We have a light heavyweight for the number 13 ranking, I believe. 12 or 13. Nikita the Minor Krylov versus Modestus the Baltic Gladiator Bukauskas. Yeah, I don't think I need to waste much time saying we're gonna win this fight. I think we all know the answer already, but we'll talk about it a little bit. So we're not even at the super. So this ain't even the easiest fight on the card to predict. I should say a lot right there, but we'll get to those soon. So, well, let's run through this one real quick, because not much needs to be said. Beginning with the guy defending his ranking here, and it shouldn't be ranked anymore, but whatever. We have the minor Nikita Krylov. Terrible nickname for a fighter who's been terrible lately. 30 and 11, 33 years old. He's only 33, Jesus. 11 and 9 in the UFC. Had a very good beginning to his career with a decent fighter. Was actually looking very good before he took this long break. Beat Gustafsson, Oezdemir, Spann, and then just disappeared. took 2 years off, came back last year against Dom Reyes, got put to sleep, then fought Bogdan Gushkov, got put to sleep again. Now he's fighting Bukowskis, where he's going to get put to sleep again. Yeah, dude's just not the same since coming back. His speed's gone. He's just slow. His chin's gone. He just really doesn't have it anymore. He looked like a decent fighter before his break, but now he's just cooked. He just doesn't have it anymore. And I think this is the last time we've seen Nikita Krylov in the UFC. He's just done. Slower, older. Hasn't really been able to get back. And again, not like he's losing to bad guys, Glushkov and Reyes, but he's just not where he was or who he was before the break. And yeah, he's just kind of cooked. And not really much else to say. He's had better times in his career, and he still had a decent career, but it's about the end of it. And yeah, not really much else to say there. So very simple. Then for the opponent trying to get the top 15 ranking, who's long overdue the shot at it after winning 4 in a row, we have someone who I never thought would be in top 15 talks, but somehow is Modestas Bukauskas. 19-6, 31 years old, 7-4 in UFC. Another guy whose career you kinda gotta talk about in two parts. First, the guy who was in UFC the first time, who went 1-3, got cut, looked he was a complete can at that point. Left for a year or two, came back, and is 6-1 since. Beat Tyson Pedro, Zach Pounga, Marcin Prachnio, Rafael Cerqueira, Ian Cutelaba, and Paul Craig. Yeah, not great wins, I will agree there, but for his standard, pretty good. And then did lose to Vitor Petrino, which is not a good look, but that is when Petrino was the guy in the division. You know, probably should beat him. I think he would easily win a rematch, but whatever. 1-4 in a row since, looked good. And most of them, the Cutelaba fight was not a great showing. Most people think he lost that fight. It was close, it wasn't a great fight. But he bounced back good against Craig, and now he should easily beat Krylov to get the top 15 ranking, which, again, is more than insane to think about. A guy who I've called a can many times. I said he never should have been brought back. I've said many times bringing fighters back never works, and I stand by the idea. But Buka has been the rare exception. We've seen guys like Jared Gooden, fucking Vince Morales, a few others who have been brought back and have failed miserably. Buka's been the rare case where it's actually fucking worked. He's gotten better, and I say when he starts fighting the better fighters in the top 15, do I think he'll lose? Probably. I don't see him going any higher than the top 10. Like, I would take Gushkov to beat him, Jan would beat him now, obviously Roundtree would already beat him, so, but he would beat Ratchik. I think he'd beat Walker at this point, Reyes. Him and Reyes would be really fucking intriguing. Maybe we'll see that down the line. But yeah, he's one of the better guys in the division somehow. He should be easily getting a ranking put next to his name by the end of the weekend, so yeah, I was saying, this rare time I was wrong about a fighter being brought back. It was the right call, and yeah, not really much else to say there. The bang odds for this fight have Buka only -150 to +125. That is fucking criminal. Bukowskis should be like -300 easily. Like, Ty Miller being the biggest favorite we've talked about so far is insane. When Buka, Energy should both be like -3,400. Buka is the same height with less reach, 83% picked. Yeah, Bukowski should win this pretty fucking easily. Again, how is he not -350? I don't know, but whatever, he should win this fight pretty fucking easily, and I'm going with Modestas Bukauskas by knockout in the first. You should get the win here. He's much better than Krylov at this point. If this fight happened 4 or 5 years ago, I'm picking Krylov. but it's 2025, or 2026 actually, and I'm willing to book up pretty soundly against a very washed Krylov. Giving Modestus Bukauskas by knockout in the first. Pretty simple, not much else to say, and yeah. Crazy that this guy, who I've shit on more than enough, isn't gonna get a top 15 ranking, and deservedly. I can say when I'm wrong. Give me Buka by knockout in the first, pretty fucking soundly. And then, speaking of easy fights to predict, we got two of them back to back here in the prelim, so let's get them out the way real quick. Beginning with the co-main event of the prelims. The easiest fight to pick on the card, like it always is when this dude's in it. We have in the prelim co-main event of the evening at middleweight. We have not, I don't want to call it can crushing because this is a step up in competition, and I don't dislike the guy he's fighting, but yeah, this is a pretty simple fight. As we have in our co-main event of the prelim, the easiest fight to pick on the card. Adiba, the silent assassin, Gautier versus Andrei Pulyaev. Yeah, I wonder who's gonna win. No disrespect to Pulyaev, dude is a very okay fighter, but yeah, Gutierrez gonna fucking kill him. I don't think I really need to shock anyone with the fucking assumption there. Pulyaev is 1-1 in UFC. When you have a loss to Christian Weaver Duncan on your record, that's not good. And then you dropped around to Nick Klein, that's also not good. Gautier has looked phenomenal in UFC so far. Dude is maybe the most interesting, talked about prospect coming into the new year. Minus 1,000 again here. Lock of the night. He is obviously the first lock of the year. Dude's really fucking good. Francis Ngannou 2.0. Give me Gautier, never gonna get it right, by knockout in the first. Lock of the night. Sorry, Pulyaev, but again, if Nick Klein is giving you issues and you lost to CLD, Gutierrez gonna beat you easily. Give me the Diva Gautier by knockout in the first. First lock of the year. No shocker. Dude's really good. Hopefully, after this, he can finally fight someone a little bit better. You know, Pulyaev is better than who he's been fighting, but I mean, better than that. And, yeah, what else is there to really say? Dude's really fucking good. Feel bad for Pulyaev. Give me Gutierrez by knockout in the first. Pretty easily. First lock of the year, just like it was last year. Diva Gutierrez the lock. If he's on the card, we know who the lock is. Pretty simple. And then next we end the prelims with another simple fight to predict. A fight that deserves to be on the prelims, not the main card. I'm so tired of hearing people bitch about that. This is where the fight should be. And we have our featured prelim in the bantamweight division. A very big name fight, even though, let's be honest, it's not going to be that good of a fight. We have to end the prelims with a big fight at bantamweight, but again, it's too boring to be on the main card. We have another beyond easy fight to predict. I don't even think I need to explain, like just like a Gutierrez fight, I don't think I need to explain how easy this fight is to predict. We have our first featured prelim of the year, a fight that should not be on the main card, and it rightfully is not. We have Umar Nurmagomedov versus Davison Dushdigera Figueiredo. Yeah, do I really need to waste time telling you that Umar is going to win this fight? No, of course not. Do I like Umar? No, I think he's an inbred can. But, yeah, let's be honest, he's winning this fight easily against this 90-year-old Figueiredo. Minus 1,600, even a bigger fave than Diva, which I don't disagree or agree with. He is 8 years younger, bigger. Yeah, he should win this fight easily. Figgy is just washed. Like, I know he's coming off a win, but was a very weak performance against Montel Jackson. Even the bigger boy, he actually won that fight, and I don't see a world where the fuck he's going to beat Umar here, unless he lands a lucky knockout shot, which I hope. If Mario Batista could hurt him, anything is possible. But I think Umar's just gonna ragdoll him to the ground for 15 boring minutes, cuddle him, snuggle him, all of that bullshit, him to death, and get a boring win. Would I love to see him lose? Yes. Would I love to pick against him here and take the L? Sure. But I don't even see the point in it anymore. He's gonna win easily. I feel bad for Figgy. And to be honest, it probably should be Umar fighting Song and O'Malley fighting Figgy. It would be a loss either way for Figgy. But whatever. Yeah, give me Umar decision easily. Not much to say. We're gonna snuggle him to death, and I can't wait for it to be boring, so everyone can see why it never should have been on the main card and why it is not. And yeah, I feel bad for Figgy, but yeah, he's just done. He's too old. He didn't look that good against Montel, and he's not gonna look much better here. Give me Umar by boring decision. Not much to say. Pretty easily. Next. And there you go. That's the prelims, an hour on the dot. Well, good timing. Yeah, well, if you want to throw a knock at these prelims, it's that a lot of the fights are really easy fights to predict. I think all of these are super easy. These two, obviously, this is easy. I think this is easy, and the Hokit fight is really easy. That only leaves 3 fights that, and even these two are even a little bit easy, so I guess if you want to say this is the only one that isn't, like, clear as day, sure, you know, I still think that one should be easy. If that's the only knock you can say about the prelim, that a lot of the fights are simple to predict, I don't disagree, but it's still really good prelims. Like, this would be a really good fucking fight night card if you put a real main event. Actually, if this was a fight night card right here, dude, that'd be great. It'd be a fucking top tier fight night, but that's not the case. It's the prelims, which is even better, because we get even more good shit afterwards. So, very good prelims to start the year, and that doesn't hold up. God, don't even get me started thinking about 325 next week, that hunk of shit. And, yeah, this card, prelims-wise, very strong, and it's a perfect way to lead into a very decent main card. So, shall we get into that? We have 4 more good fights to talk about and 1 shitty main event. I'm excited. I can't wait. The first main card of the year, the first pay-per-view that's not really a pay-per-view. Let's talk about it. Prelims done, very good. Let's get to the main card. Beginning with a fight that I think could almost be looked at as overlooked this week because how good the card is at in areas, but it's opening up the card, and it ain't gonna be overlooked as we're watching it. At the beginning, the first pay-per-view, non-pay-per-view, what are we calling it again? Numbered card. And we're not gonna RIP to the legendary sites that we watched cards on, but now it's Paramount, baby. No more of that bullshit. We're watching this in in perfect 20, it's 80p, I don't know if that shit works. Clear as day definition as we begin the numbered card era, the Paramount era, on not pay-per-view, with a banger in the featherweight division that could main event any fight night. Instead we get here, which I'm more than okay with, as we have to begin the main card of non-pay-per-views. Arnold Almighty Allen versus Gene Lord Silva. What a goddamn fight this is gonna be. This is gonna be a banger. Again, the main event any fucking fight night, any time, place, hour. But instead we get here to open up the pay-per-view. How fucking awesome. Yeah. Is it a really easy fight to predict? Yes. Is it still a great fight? Yes. I can't wait for it. It's gonna be great. Again, almost overlooked on this card somehow, but again, we ain't gonna be overlooking it when we're watching a banger. So let's sit back, relax, enjoy it, and talk about it. We'll begin with the higher ranked of the two, the Brit. Not the only Brit on the card, but the much better one. We have beginning with Arnold Allen. 20-3, 32 years old, 11-2 in the UFC. Been in the UFC a long time now. His wins, of any note, Makwan Americani, Gilmore Melendez, Nick Lentz, Sadiq Youssef, Dan Hooker, Calvin Cater, and Giga Chikadze. His only 2 losses are Max Holloway and Mansour Evloev. Arnie's pretty good. Arnie's pretty good. I don't think anyone has ever really disputed that idea, but I think the thing I will dispute is him being a top guy in the division. He's a perfect middle of the rankings guy. We can just all admit it. He's good. He's really good, but look at who he's lost to. Now, let's be honest. He would lose to Lerone. He would lose to Diego. He'd beat Jair Vieira. He shouldn't even be as highly ranked as he is. I think Ortega at his best would probably beat him. Jane's gonna beat him. Fuck, I'll take Kevin Vallejos. Like, Arnie's good. He's a perfect middle of the rankings guy. He's the perfect, like 9 to 6 ranked guy. He's very good. But, again, to be honest, he's not a top guy. He's never sniffing the belt. He's never gonna get close to beating Lerone, Volk, Diego, etc. So he's good. He's very good. But we can also be honest about a guy who's just good. Like, what's his best win? Dan Hooker? Gilbert Melendez? Like, what are we talking about? Like, I've not seen him beat anyone top tier. So, I'm not shitting on him, just being honest. He's a perfect, almost gatekeeper, very much like Corey Sandhagen, even though I think he's much better. He's very much like Corey Sandhagen. He's a very good fighter, but he's never gonna touch the belt. So, I don't know what else to really say. He's never gonna touch the top 5, or at least he shouldn't. He's good, but we know his level. He's the middle of the rankings, 9 to 6. He's great. He's not top 5 good, and he's way better than the 10 through 15. So, we know his level, and yeah, he's cool. Not very much to say. Not the most exciting fighter, not a champion level fighter, but very, very good. But his opponent, on the other hand, could be getting a bout within a few years. I wouldn't be too shocked. You know, he's coming off a loss. He will bounce back here. The opponent, the bipolar king, Gene Silva, 16-3, 29 years old, 5-1 in the UFC, coming out Contender Series. His 5 wins his Contender Series win is his best win against Kevin Vallejos. And he's beat Weston Wilson, Charles Jourdain, Drew Dober, Mosik Bagdasaryan, and Bryce Mitchell. And then his last fight against Diego Lopez, he went to war. He would have beat him if Diego Lopez was human. But he's not, and he did get clipped. You know, it was a bad stoppage. Got clipped. Good learning lesson, and now he's back. He's gonna get back on track here. UFC giving him a nice bounce back opponent. He's really good. I think Gene will be right back in the title talk before we know it. So I would still pick him to beat Volk easily right now. So again, he would have won that fight against Diego if Diego had a fucking normal chin. And yeah, Gene's really fucking good. What else can you say? Dude's a psychopath, bipolar, whatever the fuck you want to say. A fighting nerd, the second best fighting nerd, with Rufy always being the worst, and Kaio. We'll talk about him in a couple months. Obviously, Prates is the leader of that camp at the moment, but Gene get right back on track. Won't be shocked if by 2027 he's in a title shot. I thought someone said, if Gene wins this week, he's in a title shot now. He'll fight Yair. I think that's a very logical next step for Gene after he wins this fight is Yair, which would be a banger, and he would easily beat him, and then give him a title shot. So yeah, I think he'll at least either fight for the belt or win it in the next couple years. And yeah, what can you really say about Gene Silva? He's gonna bounce back. He didn't look bad in that Diego fight. Just Diego's not human, and not really much else to say. We all know if he would have won that fight, he would be fighting Volkanovski next week, and it would be a much better fight. But whatever. Gene Silva getting a quick bounce back this week. You'll love to see it. Not much else to say. The bag odds for his fight have Gene Silva minus 300 plus 230. Yeah, I can't really disagree there. Not much to dispute. Arnie's an inch taller with an inch in reach. Gene is 73% picked. Yeah, Gene should win this fight. Not very much else to say. But I will say, for the first time with Gene, I don't think he's gonna knock him out. I think Jean, or I don't think it's gonna be a one-sided beatdown. I think Arnie's gonna put up a fight, but I think he is gonna lose either 29-28 or 30-27. So I don't think Jean's gonna finish Arnie. I'd be very shocked if he did. So give me Gene Silva by decision, which is a weird fucking thing to say, but I'm gonna go Gene by decision. Still think it's gonna be a great fight, more than likely fight of the night, but I just don't see Gene finishing Arnie, and I don't see him like bludgeoning him to like a 30-25 or some shit. So I'm gonna say Gene wins a very fun decision. I think he'll drop Arnie. I don't think that's a dispute. He's definitely gonna drop Arnie, but I don't think he'll finish him. And I think it's gonna be a banger. Gonna be fight of the night. I can't wait. Give me Gene Silva by decision. Nice easy bounce back for him. Arnie's good, but again, there's top guys, and there's Arnold Allen, and there's the bottom of the division. So they're actually just they're the top guys, and there's Arnold Allen. Gene is the top guy. Arnie is not. Give me Gene by decision. A banger. I can't wait. That's gonna be amazing. What a fucking fight. After that, we go from a very good fight to the easiest fight on the main card to predict. If the Gene Silva fight wasn't easy enough to predict, this is even easier. As we have in our second fight of the main card moved up from the prelims thanks to Kayla Nunez getting canned. Now we have this on the main card, which it deserved to be here more than Umar. It's a much better fight. We have our second fight of the main card, the first female fight of 2026, and the only one on this card. Is there one next week? I don't think there is one next week, so this will be the only one until February, unless there is one on the World card, but I don't think there is. We have our second fight of the main card, the easiest fight on the main card to predict, moved up thanks to Kayla Nunez. Fuck you, Umar. We have Natalia Silva versus Thug Rose Namajunas. Yeah, not really much to say here. I don't really need to break this fight down much. Should Natty even be in this fight? No, she should just be waiting for Val, but whatever. If she wants to stay active, sweet. There's meant to be Alexa Grasso and Rose, but Alexa, something fucking happened. Now she's fighting Barber in Seattle. Fuck if I know how that works out, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not gonna waste much time here, not very much time needs to be wasted here. We know both of these two. Natty, undefeated in UFC. I think he's only lost maybe one round, and that was like to Blada 2 years ago. Outside of that, she's been phenomenal, easily beating Alexa, Andrade, Araujo, etc. The only fighter left who could probably beat Valentina in that division. She's very fucking good. Young too, 28 years old. One can really say. Rose, on the other hand, 3-2 in flyweight. Has won a few in the division, but against bottom tier Cortez, Hebos, and Maverick's okay. She didn't look that great in that fight. Lost to Blanchard, that's debatable. And Manon. Yeah, Rose's best days are behind her. She's still not, again, pretty middle of the rankings fighter in that division, but she's never sniffing the boat, and fighters like fucking Ern and Manon have already beat her. Natalia's about to beat her. Alexa would beat her. Jastovicius would beat her more than likely. So Rose has her ceiling at this point, and it's just being a very big name, middle of the rankings fighter. She's just cannon fodder here, for being honest. Natalia minus 440 to plus 320. Yeah, can probably even be higher of a favorite. And Rose is an inch taller, same reach, 84%. Only 84% should be higher. Yeah, Natalia's winning this fight easily. 30-27 across the board, going to wipe the floor for Rose. Natalia, one of the best kickboxers, karate, whatever you want to call her style, is one of the best fighters on the feet in the UFC. Rose is not going to know what the fuck to do against her, and Natty's going to beat her easily. So, not very much else to say there. Giving me Natalia Silva by decision. Another fighter definitely in the case for lock of the night. She's going to win easily. 30-27 across the board. Not much else to say. Give me Natalia to get a quick, easy one to stay active, even though she shouldn't even have to. But we know how long it takes Val to ever fight, so there you go. Give me Natty by 327 decision over the OG, the legend, the whole future Hall of Famer. Just ain't our time anymore. Give me Talia Silva. And now we really get to the meat and potatoes of this main card as we get to the hardest fight to pick on the card, in my opinion, and the one fight I can guarantee you does not go the full 15, at least it better not. We have in the heavyweight division 2 giant motherfuckers throwing heat. Someone's going down and it's gonna be great. I can't wait. As we have in our third fight of the main card, our featured bout in the heavyweight division's top 10. We have a fight that probably ends in the first round, or at least it's better, because two big motherfuckers throwing heat. We have in our featured bout of the main card, the hardest fight to pick on the card. Oh, Salsa Boy, Waldo, Cortez, Costa versus the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. This fight's gonna be awesome. This fight's going to end in round 1, hopefully. And let's see who's going out cold. Does Derek got one more in him, or can Waldo continue his insane streak? I can't wait to find out. Let's find out. Let's talk about it. Beginning with the Salsa Boy, the higher ranked of the two somehow. Waldo Cortez Acosta, 16-2, 34 years old, 9-2 in the UFC. 2 of those wins in the last fucking 3 months. Another guy whose career has kind of been a tale of two stories. The first part of his career, the guy who was pretty lame, most people hated. Fucking the Arlovsky fight was embarrassing. Beat Spain, lost to Lima, and lost to Pavlovich. But ever since this Delija fight, now he's fan favorite and we all love him. Got eye poked, was able to come back and knock out Delija, which was fucking amazing. Then took the Gaziev fight on days notice, knocked him out, making fun of Tom Aspinall for being a quitting little bitch. And now he's gonna fight Derek Lewis and see what happens. Fought 5 times last year. Dude's super fucking active. Actually getting finishes now, not being boring. Again, fighting Lewis. I think he should be in line for next title shot, but with Pierre moving up, who knows what Aspinall and what's going on with the belt, Volkov gone, etc. So, we'll see, but Waldo somehow in a year turned from hated to loved, and yeah, what more can you really say? Dude's on fire right now, probably the heavyweight with the most momentum, him or Walter Walker, and this would be a giant winner for him. If he were to win this, I already think he should be in title talks for a #1 contender, and now fucking win this, I don't know how you can even dispute that at that point. So more than likely if he wins this he'll fight Volkov next, but whatever. And yeah, man, dude's good. Dude's really good. Turned his whole reputation around in a month, and see what happens. Not really too much else to say there. I don't know, it still blows my mind. This dude turned his whole fucking reputation around in a month. See what Salsa Boy can do. And then for the opponent, Amanda needs no introduction, and really does not need to talk about too much, because what can I say that has not already been said? And we have his opponent, the legend, the heavyweight legend, the knockout king, the first ballot Hall of Famer. Is he actually that skilled? No, but he hits really fucking hard. The future Hall of Famer, the one, the only, the knockout king, the Black Beast, Derek Lewis. 29, 12, 40 years old, gonna be 41 in a few weeks. 20-10 in the UFC, that's insane. That obviously we're not gonna go down his whole UFC career because we'd be here a long time, but lately we'll say, since the fucking Nash Rogan fight, funny enough, he's kind of been up and down. He looked shitty in the Gon fight, beat Chris Dawkins, lost to Ivan Pavlovich Spivak. That was really a downside of his career. But he has bounced back. The Lima win was good. Almeida was one of the worst fights ever. But then he has won 2 in a row against Nascimento and Teixeira. The bad thing with Lewis at this point, it does seem like he's only able to beat shitty fighters. Like, his last 4 wins are Dawkins, De Lima, Nascimento, and Teixeira. De Lima was good, the other 3 were cans, and every time he fought someone halfway decent, he didn't try and beat Gon. Tuivasa and Pavlovich finished him. Spivak was the worst performance of his career. Almeida laid on him. So he's just not really been able to do a whole lot in the last couple years against high-level guys. He's been able to beat the shittier ones. But now he's fighting a higher-level guy again for the first time in almost 3 years. And we'll see if he can get a gigantic win. If he wins this fight, I would not be shocked to give him a fucking title shot at this point. So, the UFC would love to give Derek one more giant push, but if he can't be the top guy, then what can you really do? He's gotten older, clearly. His fucking physique changes every fight. One fight he's fat, next fight he's ripped. So, he's gotten older. He's still got the power, but older and slower. Durability's gotten worse. We'll see how much longer he has left. If he were to lose this fight, I would not be shocked if he retired. He's made so much fucking money in the UFC. It's fucking mental with bonuses alone. And, if this was his last one, I wouldn't be shocked. Of course I hope it ain't, because you never want to see Derek Lewis retire, but if it were to be, I wouldn't be shocked. And, we'll see though. We'll see. Dude could always pull a fucking nuke out of his fucking back pocket and knock out Waldo for all we know. So, we'll see if that happens. And, dude's a legend. Dude still has the power, so he's always a threat. How much longer can he go, and can he finally get his first good win since Curtis Blades 5 years ago? So, time will tell. The betting odds for the fight say he will not, having Waldo minus 325 to plus 250. Yeah, I almost struggle to disagree there. I probably would have Waldo smaller favorite, maybe like minus 220, 230, but I do understand those odds. Like, Derek is tough to trust at this point against someone good, against someone not a complete layup. Waldo's an inch taller, and Derek had an inch in reach, but he's 6 years older. Waldo's 67% picked. I've never picked against Derek, and man, do I not want to pick against Derek. But I just struggle to make a case for him at this point. I think I'm going Waldo. I just think Derek's at the end of his road. I don't think he can beat better fighters anymore. Again, his last few ones have been easiest of easy wins. And, like, what does that really say? Again, the dude hasn't won a legit, hasn't beat anyone that legit decent since Curtis Blades. And every time we've seen him fight up in competition the last couple years, he's quit. That Spivak fight's gonna be the biggest stain on his fucking career. So it's like, the dude's a legend, but he's also 40. He's gotten slower. His durability has never been the greatest. He still has the power, but can he hit Waldo clean enough? Waldo's not really been rocked in the UFC. Pavlovich hit him and couldn't drop him, so we'll see if Derek can. I just struggle to pick Derek here, so I think I gotta go Waldo. My first time ever picking against Derek. It sucks. Trust me, it fucking does, but I just struggle to pick him here. Give me Salsa Boy by knockout in the first. I think you'll be able to find a way to clip Derek either to the body or to the head and put him down. Just don't think Derek has it anymore, which sucks to say, but he's what's wrong. He probably hasn't had it for a while now, just he's been beating up tomato cans, so we'll see. I hope I'm wrong here. I hope Derek sparks him out, because who doesn't want to see a Derek Lewis win every time we can? But I just really struggle to see that happening, so give me Waldo Cortez Acosta by knockout in the first. As much as that breaks my fucking heart to say, that's just what I view happening, so Give me Waldo by knockout in the first, as painful as it is to say. I just don't think the Beast has it anymore. His balls are not high anymore. And, give me Waldo to show Derek just can't beat the higher level guys anymore. Hopefully it's not his last one. Hopefully he does have one more easy one, maybe at the White House and retires, but we'll see. Give me Waldo to finish him here. So breaks my heart to pick against the legend, the Black Beast. Oh boy, and if that wasn't crazy enough, now we have the real main event of the evening, but the co-main, I guess, necessarily. If I was not biased for Derek, let's see what I think here, as we have our co-main event of the evening. My boy, my fucking boy, in a do-or-die situation, in our co-main event of the evening, the best fight on the card, a phenomenal fight, again, much better than the Gaethje Patty fight, but whatever. We have in the real main event, the people's main event, at bantamweight, in a do-or-die for kind of both guys, if we're being honest. My boy, but I'm gonna be honest here in this prediction, so don't think I'm just gonna be biased. We have in the co-main event of the evening, Sugar Sean O'Malley versus the Kung Fu Kid Song Yadong. What a goddamn fight this is gonna be. This is gonna be amazing. My boy is back in a must-win. Song Yadong in the biggest fight of his career. This is gonna be sweet. I can't fucking wait. The real main event. Let's talk about it. We'll begin with my boy, the Sugar Sean O'Malley, my boy, 18-3, 31 years old, 10-3 and 1 in the UFC, really, 10-2 and 2, if we're being honest, or whatever. So, don't need to go down his whole career. Obviously, we know he fucking was great, fucking got the wins, beat Piotr, beat Cheeto, Sterling, But then he met a guy named Merab. And for as good as O'Malley was the best bantamweight for a minute. He finally met this guy named Merab, and he fucking destroyed him twice. First fight, O'Malley did okay, but he clearly lost. Second fight, he got beat terribly, and now he's taking some time off, has lost a lot of star power, and now he's in a must-win scenario if he wants any bit of his fucking star power to still be there. Ooh, this is an interesting one. O'Malley was the guy for a minute, man. He really was. When he was on his winning streak, knocking out guys and all that, he was the fucking guy at bantamweight. Then he beat Piotr, who really gave him a good fight, even if you think he lost. Beat Sterling, beat Cheeto. And he ran into a wall that he couldn't climb over. Now, can he get back on track? How is he mentally after those losses? Does he actually know how to grapple now, or has he always tried to grapple better? Like, we already know he's one of the best strikers in the UFC. That's no fucking duh. But if he can't fucking strike, if he's just getting taken down, that's meaningless. So, can he stuff takedowns? Can he keep the fight standing? If so, he can beat anybody. Again, his power is great. His striking is great. He is still one of the best bantamweights in the world. But can he just not get taken down with ease? We're gonna find out. This is a do or die for him. Again, if he loses this, he might be on the next Jake Paul undercard at this fucking rate. The dude's star power or fucking popularity is already a good amount gone. Add in another loss to not even Merab at this point, a guy who is not the biggest name. Everyone knows is very good, but is not the biggest name. What can you say at this point? What are you gonna do with him? So, has he already hit his fucking prime and peak? I'm excited. I'm excited to see if he has anything left. If not, I'll say he's done. This is the last chance, man. Again, this is a complete do or die for him. He has to win this. He has to get back on track. Do I think he's gonna get the belt back? No. He's not beating Merab. I don't think he's beating Piotr in a rematch. So, like, he'd beat Umar, he'd beat fucking Zahabi and Figueiredo, but he just can't beat these. He can't beat Piotr Marab, and like he'd beat Sandhagen fucking easily. But can he just get a win here? Can he bounce back? We're gonna find out. Do or die for the Sugar Show. Is the show finally cancelled? Or do we get another season? Let's find out. And then, that's not even talking about the great opponent he's fighting, and that being the very good dark horse of the division. Like, he's been his whole fucking career, it would seem. He still is the dark horse of the division because he just hasn't been able to make that jump up into the higher echelon of the division. The very tough opponent for O'Malley, Song Yadong. 22-8-1, 28 years old. The dude's been fucking in his 20s for 15 years. 11-3-1 in UFC. This dude, that is like, Song is such a good fighter. We fucking know that. Like, and he has good wins. That's the thing. He has really fucking good wins. He has the fucking, this Perez knockout was great. He beat Cheeto. He beat fucking Casey Kenny back in the day, beat Myla Moraes, Ricky Simone, Chris Gutierrez. He has good wins. But look at the losses. Kyler Phillips, that was a big fight for him. He lost. Corey Sandhagen, that was the main event. He lost. Piotr Jan, that was a big fight. Everyone thought he was going to win. He lost. Even the Cejudo fight, he didn't look that good. Though, every time he gets this fight up, he doesn't perform to his abilities, and it's just like, dude, like, how? We know you can be a top guy in this division. Why are you not getting that big win to prove it? Like, the reason I say this is almost a do or die for Song at the same time as it is for fucking O'Malley, because if Song were to lose this fight, that'd be, what, 3 losses in chances where he had to become a top guy. How much more can we give you? Like, I think this is the fight that's really going to determine if Song is ever going to actually make that jump into the higher echelon, or just always be a very good middle-of-the-ranking guy like an Arnold Allen. So, we're going to find out. Song has all the talent. The dude is really good. Do I think he's going to be champion? No. I don't think he could beat Merab now that he lost to Pilter. I think he'd beat Sandhagen in a rematch. Umar is a joke. He'd beat Figueiredo and Zahabi and da-da-da. So it's just, can he at least get to the top 5 and become a top name in the division? He has all the talent. He's a phenomenal striker. Quick, powerful. He is the better wrestler here. He has a little bit of grappling training with Faber and all of them. And again, we've seen him look good against good guys like Simone and fucking Cheeto. So it's just, can he finally make that jump into the higher echelon? This would be his win. This would be his chance, the biggest fight of his career. Do or die for him to really become a top guy, or just be a very good fighter. See which one happens. I'm very intrigued. Not much else to say. The betting odds for this fight, I think, are way off, and that's me being an O'Malley fan saying that. O'Malley minus 210 to plus 170. I don't think O'Malley should be that big of a favorite at all. I think that should be much closer here. I'd have O'Malley minus 140 in that ballpark to like plus 120. The slight favorite, but a favorite, but slightly. O'Malley's much taller, bigger reach, 85% picked. I would say right fucking now, Song winning is not fucking crazy. If he came in with the right game plan of wrestle fucking O'Malley, he will win. I'll say right now, he'll fucking win. But if he's an idiot and tries to strike O'Malley, he's gonna lose. He's not gonna beat O'Malley in a striking match. So the question is, can he grapple fuck him? Is he gonna come in with a game plan of grapple fucking him? We're gonna find out. If he's smart, yeah, he'll do that. But if he tries to strike him, he's gonna lose and he's gonna fucking think he's an idiot. Because that's an idiot way to fucking fight O'Malley. So the fight all depends on what Song decides to do. Or if O'Malley has actually learned to stop a takedown, which I fucking doubt. So, if Song tries to strike with O'Malley, yeah, O'Malley should win pretty soundly. But if Song tries to wrestle, and it works, which it probably would, he's probably gonna win. So, it's a really interesting fight. Very, hard to tell what's gonna happen. The odds should be closer. intriguing, great fight. What am I gonna pick though? I'm gonna say Song doesn't wrestle the whole fight. I think O'Malley can squeak out a win. I'm gonna say decision. I don't see a finish in this fight by either guy, let alone O'Malley. I don't think he's gonna knock out Song. I'm gonna go O'Malley by decision. Very worried in that prediction. Hoping Song's an idiot and tries to strike him for 15 minutes. That'd be a very good. That'd be the best case scenario for O'Malley. So we'll see if that is what happens. And yeah, I can't wait. I can't wait. And again, the fight pretty much depends on what Song does. Does he give O'Malley the fight by striker, or does he take it from him by grappling? We're gonna find out. I can't wait. I'm gonna go Sugar. I think he can squeak out a win here. I think 29-28. I want O'Malley by decision. First time not picking him by knockout. I'm worried. I'm excited. I can't wait. Give me the Sugar show. It's not over yet. I think he can squeak out a win there. I won't be shocked if Song wins. I think that's one, maybe the second best underdog on the card. See what happens. And then, the lame event of the evening for a fake belt. It's just a number one contenders fight. I'm not gonna waste much time here because I don't care about this fight. I highly doubt many people do. As we have in our lame event of the evening, the first main event of the year at lightweight. It should have been Ilya here, but he fucked off to go do something. Fuck if I know what. Fuck off, ad. Topology, sort your shit out. No one wants to see ads. And we have in our lame event of the evening, the first main event of the year for a fake belt, a 9-royal belt on the line in this first pay-per-view. We have to see who gets murdered by Ilya later in the year, to end UFC 324 and start the Paramount era. Justin, the Highlight, Gaethje versus Pate, the Pate Pimplet. Does anyone give a fuck? No. Yeah, I'll keep this short and sweet. Both of these guys are entitled douchebags who actually pretend they deserve this fight, and both pretend they have any bit of a chance against Ilya. Is fucking hilarious. Gaethje's old, washed, and not that good anymore. Patty's a douchebag who's literally fucking a terrible fighter, but you know, he beat a few old dudes and they didn't look good doing it. Yeah, this fight sucks. What else am I really meant to say? Give me Patty. I think he can grapple fuck Gaethje in a shitty fight. Hopefully Gaethje knocks his teeth in. I think it's wishful thinking though. Give me Patty. Him and Ilya is much more interesting anyway than Gaethje and Ilya. I'm so tired of Gaethje. He's such an entitled cunt. And yeah, give me Patty. Give me the I can't call either the lesser of two douchebags because I think they're both complete assholes. But yeah, give me Patty. Fucking Patty by decision. Shitty fight. No one cares. It's like the 5th best fight on the card. Yeah, how might I say? Give me Patty to win, to book his ticket to Ilya knocking his fucking teeth down his throat. Oh boy. Not much to say. Hopefully Gaethje knocks him out, but again, I feel that's wishful thinking, so not much else to say there. And with that being said, for the first breakdown of the year, that's my pick. There you go. Boom. Those are my picks to go over them one more time. Can't believe we're done with the first breakdown of the year. Ty Miller by decision, Cameron Smotherman by decision, Josh Hokett by knockout in first, Michael Johnson by decision, Charles Johnson by decision, Modestus Bukauskas by knockout in first, Diva Gautier by lock of the night by knockout in the first, Omar Nurmagomedov by decision, Gene Silva by decision, Natalia Silva by decision, Aldo Cortez Acosta by knockout in first, Sean O'Malley by decision, and Patty Pimplet by decision to end our first card of the year. Boom. Yeah, there you go. I can't believe we're done with the first breakdown of the year already. Yeah, I know a lot of decisions, but I really struggle seeing a lot of these fights being finishes. Maybe the main event is, I don't see it, to be honest. Mm, maybe I see this being a finish. Maybe this, but I doubt it. That rest should probably go to decision, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be a good card. Still look at it as just a really strong fight night more than a pay-per-view. But whatever. It's still a good card, even if the main event sucks. And I'm excited. I'm very excited. Fights are back, baby. Let's see how I do on my first picks of the year. I'm not worried about most of my picks, if really any, which means I'm going to get most of them wrong. And yeah, we'll see how I start off my year of predictions. These are really good or really bad. Usually I do very mid on these first cards of the year, which is not a good sign, but I mean, this year I have better fortune, so we'll see. Not really much else to say. Yeah, it's good to be back. First video in what, a week and a half? Crazy. And next one will be the recap on Sunday, the first recap of the year. That's gonna be fun. I'll be live Friday, Saturday, and Sunday night with streams, and I'll have a short, I think, a few over the next couple days, so keep an eye out for those. And yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else to really say. I don't know why I feel like I'm forgetting something when I'm like done quicker than I expect. But yeah, there's not really much more I can think to say. So, unless I'm forgetting something, I don't think I am. I think that's that. First breakdown of the year. We are so back, and I am so fucking excited. Fights are back. We are so back. Let's enjoy it. First breakdown done. Let's see how well this ages picks wise by the end of Saturday night. And yeah, not really much else to say. Good to be back, and see how we return. So that being said, the only thing left to be said is, of course, as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. 200 subs goal by the end of 2026. We'll hit that eventually. I doubt it. As always, I'm going to say something which I don't believe I am. We are so back. Fights are back. Let's fucking go. We've survived the break, and now we enjoy what we get after it. Fights are back. Let's see how 2026 season goes. With that being said, as always, RX out. Good vibes only.